I switched to the wrong thing. I meant to switch to this 1 second. Yeah, I meant to switch to that. I was testing something. God damn it. Anyway, we're live. I think so. Let me just check. Are we actually live? Yes, we are. And what is the lag? Well, my goddamn clock is not updating. I have to fix this clock issue because sometimes it just stops updating and it's very annoying. I know. Alright, anyway, I guess we're live. Hi, welcome to the Aero Show episode 2. And we have a little bit of a little bit of shorter list of topics. Last episode I did unfortunately had to cut out the last like couple of hours because something went wrong with the like the process like something went wrong and I can't really explain it, but I did have to cut out the whole last bit of the show. But anyway, we're live. Let me just double check. Yep, stream health is correct. That is good. You know, it's always really good when stream health is correct. Why is the clock not updating? There we go. So what I think I need to do is well, we'll figure it out. So if I minimize it, yeah, it does go away. But if I do that, yeah, now it's working. If I switch again, yep, now it's working. Now it's perfectly fine. So let's start. We have a little bit of different topics, and I couldn't cover some topics from last time because I simply ran out of time and I had to go to bed because today was Saturday and I had some stuff that was pending. But anyway, I'm back full fresh of mind. I was just out. I came back from a night out with some friends, and I didn't cover the what did I not cover again? I didn't cover the PS5 shortage. Like, it's apparently over according to Sony. We stopped at the satellite connectivity thing, and then we just came. Oh, did I not post it on Twitter? I didn't post the link on Twitter. Well, oh fuck. Let me just quickly switch to the main one. How did I not tweet this? The Aero Show. Episode 2 is live. I think live should be in caps. Live. Come join us. And then I don't have the link ready. Fuck. I didn't tweet out the thing. I didn't tweet out the. Oh god. Okay. Anyway. All right. Now that we got that junk out of the way, let's start with a little some of the topics that I wanted to cover today. And we're not gonna start with any of the. Actually, we don't have any political kind of stories today because literally nothing was there. I didn't look on the r/world news subreddit. That was a little bit of a mistake of mine. r/world news. I should have looked if something was happening here. Ukraine, I don't know what that is. Don't want to discuss that. Actually completely missed that. And is there something here that at least I have some idea about? Most of it is either, you know, Ukraine or Taliban or the Afghanistan thing, or yeah, everything here is like stuff that I either really don't want to talk about. Oh, this we're gonna cover this. We're gonna cover this today. Actually, should we start with that? Also, no idea about that. Brexit. Let me look into that. How am I not logged in? Well, fuck. We'll look at that later. Wikipedia owner denies Saudi infiltration claim. Well, that's a different one, but okay. I don't know what that is, but okay. So all right. Well, I guess let's look at this one then. A Japan flight makes an emergency landing after an apparent bomb threat. So this article is by CNN, and I have no idea. I'm just seeing this, and I just wanted to see what is this all about. An airplane flown. Let me just check. An airplane flown by budget carrier Jetstar made an emergency landing in central Japan on Saturday after authorities received an apparent bomb threat from an international caller, public broadcaster NHK reported, citing police sources. Tokyo's Narita Airport received a call at 6:20 in the morning. That's not a time you want to be dealing with a bomb threat, I'm just telling you. Japan time from a man in Germany saying in English that he had put a bomb on the aircraft, citing police sources. The domestic flight from Narita to the southwestern city of Fukuoka was diverted to Chubu Airport, a Chubu Airport spokesperson told. All 136 passengers and 6 crew members evacuated the aircraft there. Of these, 5 people were lightly injured while leaving the aircraft, according to NHK, which broadcast footage evacuating the plane via emergency chutes. Pictures shared on social media showed an Airbus 8320 operated by Jetstar with chutes deployed and passengers evacuated the aircraft. I don't think I'm going to show that, but anyway. NHK said the caller claimed to have placed 100 kilograms or 220 pounds of plastic explosives in the aircraft's cargo hold and demanded to speak with the manager or he would set them off. No explosives have been found on the plane, apparently. Alright, well, that was something that I just somehow missed. I don't recall seeing this. I do read the news every day, and usually something as big as this would have come on the air, but apparently not. So anyway, there's that. Now let's move on to something that I actually read a couple of, I think like last night, but I didn't cover it last night, and that was the whole Weibo thing. So yeah, the Chinese social media Weibo, which if you guys don't know what's Weibo, it's a China-centered social media with close to wait, damn it, I need to get good at this. Let me switch it to, let me pull that there. So as I was saying, if you guys don't know what Weibo is a China-centered social media with close to 600 million monthly active users. They came out and they banned well over 1,000 accounts that criticized China's policies and responses towards COVID. So that's all I can go off the top of my head. So anyway, this article is by the South China Morning Post. I think it's one of the most like well-versed in English types of sources that come from mainland China. But anyway, so Chinese social media platform Weibo has banned more than 1,000 accounts, some with millions of followers, as a punishment for online personal attacks against Chinese health experts and inciting conflict over Beijing's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Penalties announced for 1,120 users by the Twitter-like microblogging website. So it's basically like Twitter, where you can, it's mainly text content, if that makes any sense, range from temporary account suspensions to permanent bans. Weibo said it took punitive action after reviewing nearly 13,000 posts featuring criticisms against experts and academics. Many experts, this is a quote from a statement from Weibo. Many experts, academics, and internet users have been actively using their professional knowledge and gathering authoritative sources to help them with combating the pandemic. It is not acceptable to hurl insults at people who hold a different point of view or publish personal attacks and views that incite conflicts. Now, I thought that for a country that is as locked down and as controlled as China, you think people would, not be so hurl public insults to people on a social media that can be controlled by the government. But apparently I was wrong. Apparently people can be like that. It's not that not that I'm saying that that's okay or it's not okay. I'm just finding it kind of interesting. So any kind of move that is disruptive to the Weibo community would be handled in a serious matter. This ban came days after Beijing security chiefs warned of zero tolerances against activities that use the pandemic to disrupt social order. Weibo did not specify the exact transgressions that sparked the punishments, though it's most likely stuff that was trying to incite like some kind of reform or some kind of protest, in my opinion. But anyway, but the platform is claims to have 500 million active users. Yes, that's true. Weibo has well over 500 million, close to I think 600 million um, monthly active users. It's known to be heavily censored. Well, obviously because social media as big as Weibo, and I think Weibo and WeChat are the two biggest like communication like digital ways of communication in China, and obviously they are going to be under control of the Chinese government. One of the largest accounts suspended in the latest censorship was that of Liu Chun, senior vice president of Phoenix New Media, a Hong Kong listed mainland company. Liu has more than 12 million followers. Jeez. And some of his recent recent blog posts related to China's pandemic policy are still available online. On December 17th, a surge in COVID-19 cases in cities prompted a scramble for drugs to really ease the symptoms. He said, I was just thinking, why would there be a shortage of fever medicine? If it hadn't been arranged earlier, there should not be that should not be happening with the country's production and logistics ability. His post came after days after Beijing announced a significant easing of the strict zero-COVID policy of mass testing, quarantines, and lockdowns that have been placed since the early days of the pandemic, which I believe is around March or February of 2020. So that's 3 years ago. Holy shit! Remember when COVID was an all-time high in India? No, that was April 2021. I'm talking like very early days when people really didn't know what the hell was going on. So yeah, the National Health Commission of China released guidelines on December 7th that advised mild or asymptomatic cases to isolate home instead of being sent to quarantine facilities, and dropped all testing requirements for domestic travel. We covered this yesterday about the China, like they're reopening their borders to Hong Kong, and today we are also going to cover, I think, Germany, that they're not advising like unnecessary travel to China because of all of this. So yeah, another well-known blogger with the username Kong King Dong, which translates to Peking University professor, was among the more popular accounts that were suspended. This account apparently had 4 million followers. Kong gained notoriety for his provocative nationalist comments over the past decade, including for calling Hong Kong people dogs, for reportedly discriminating against mainlanders, and refusing to identify as Chinese in 2012. Both Liu and Kong's accounts were barred from publishing new posts for an unspecified period or violations of community regulations, Weibo said. So, whenever a suspension is for an unspecified period, almost all of the time it's either like instantly unsuspended within the next like 12 to 13 hours, or it is never unsuspended ever. It's a perma ban basically. So yeah, Beijing announced further easing last week with borders to be reopened and all inbound quarantine dropped from January 8th. We did cover this yesterday, so you can watch yesterday's show. So yeah, the abrupt U-turns have not only caught most of the country by surprise, but also brought by the biggest COVID-19 outbreak ever for China. This is true. In the last couple of months, in the last couple of days, China has seen a humongous surge in COVID cases that was sparking widespread drug shortages and straining medical and funeral services. According to an official estimate on December 23rd, a day before Christmas Eve basically, up to 37 million people in China may have been infected with COVID-19 on a single day. I don't think this has to do with anything related to Christmas. I think this just happened. So yeah, top security officials of China's ruling Communist Party hailed the anti-pandemic policies of the last 3 years as scientific, effective, and totally correct as they met in Beijing following the policy shift. So, they also vowed to safeguard national security and social stability and relatively deal according to the law with behaviors that use the pandemic to infiltrate, sabotage, make rumors, or start troubles and disrupt social order, according to a statement published on December 30th. China saw a series of rare protests against zero COVID in a handful of cities in late November, coinciding with strong downward economic pressure blamed largely on stringent pandemic restrictions. This sudden relaxation of the draconian rules and the accompanying spike in infections received a strong pushback from China's internet users, especially after analysts who regularly appeared on state media to explain and justify Beijing's policies struggled to strike a consistent tone before and after the policy shift. They included public health experts like Liang Wanyan, sorry if I butchered that, leader of the NHC, the National Health Commission's COVID response expert team. China could not tolerate another wave of mass infections. Liang repeatedly warned in October. However, following the policy relaxation, he said the virus was much milder now. And that's the end of this. So as for my thoughts, I feel like just because I mean, what do I have to say? Like any form of like criticism. I mean, I get that when criticism turns into hate, there should be action taken. But when it is legit criticism, that is calling out the government for its shortcomings or for its wrong policies and not lookouts, and the measures that they've put to restrict the spread of COVID, and the apparent and this being like increased because of the recent COVID surge doesn't really help it. It in fact makes it worse. So yeah, you can leave your thoughts down below, and if there's anything that I've missed that you can actually put it in the chat, and I will try and cover it and hopefully maybe in a little bit more detail. So yeah, if you have any thoughts, make sure to list them down in the comments below or in the live chat, and I will do my best to read them out, providing that they're of some value or something. Because I don't read out bullshit. Let me just keep that there so that I can read my chat better. Okay, now moving on. So we've covered that. Also, I just realized that I might cover something accidentally. So what we're going to do is change the highlight to green, so that we have actually covered that. So now we're going to move on to me checking if the audio is actually working or not. Yep, the audio sounds perfectly fine. So we're gonna move on to something that is similar-ish. We're gonna move on to, first of all, let me adjust that so that give me a second while I resize some windows and crap. But anyway, no, I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. Okay, there we go. So let's sit up straight, fix our back posture. This is supposed to be like here. This pillow is probably gonna remain for the rest of the show. I just really like it. It's memory foam. It's like nice and fluffy. It's not super hard or anything, but it somehow maintains shape. But I do like the color. I think it looks alright. Yep, everything is working fine. Let's move on to something that is similar, and that Germany is advising not to travel to China for unnecessary purposes because of the surge in COVID cases. So, last time, no, we didn't cover Germany actually. Actually, last time I think we covered what did we cover last time? I don't remember, but I don't think we covered Germany. So yeah, Germany advises against travel to China amid COVID surge. This article is by DW. I don't know what the full form is, but oh, these are like trending topics. Yeah, we actually didn't cover this last time because what was there to cover? Like, sure, I could have covered that. Hey, well, what was he believing in Jesus Christ or whatever, but it's not like really informative. I mean, it's a death, but whatever. Who cares? Anyway, uh, actually, I shouldn't say who cares. It's a religious person. Okay, it's. Well, I think I just dug myself a hole now. All right, we couldn't cover it because of some unknown reason. So yeah, anyway, Germany advises against travel to China amid COVID surge. So China discouraged non-essential trips to China 2 days after the country said it would impose testing requirements for arrivals from China. Oh, they're talking about Germany. So 2 days after, so like 2 days before, I think they started. They required testing requirements to get a PCR test for COVID-19. So anyway, first of all, that's not readable. That is okay. Germany advised nationals against non-essential travels to China given a surge in in COVID-19 infections, and this was said by the German Foreign Ministry on Saturday. So today, that's not today. Okay, whatever. The number of infections in China is currently at its highest level since the pandemic began in 2020. The Chinese health system is overburdened, and inadequate care in medical emergencies is also affected. Also, funeral homes and other funeral-related services are also uh, overburdened, you can say. Unnecessary trips to China are therefore currently not recommended. Germany will require a negative COVID-19 test for travelers arriving from China beginning on January of 9th, so 2 days from now, basically. So the European Union is recommending testing passengers from China. Diplomats from the European Union recommended that this week that countries introduce COVID-19 testing requirements. That did not open in the new tab. Does it not open in the new tab? I'm pressing control. Okay, whatever. Screw this. So pre-flight testing. Do they have like points? No, they don't have points. So I thought that would be like, oh, like within 48 hours they have to get a show a COVID-19 negative result. But anyway, um, France, Italy, Sweden, Spain, and the UK have testing requirements in place already. Beside the European countries, the United States, Canada, Australia, South Korea, Japan, and India are among the countries that require a negative test for passengers from China. China has been overwhelmed by a burgeoning number of coronavirus COVID-19 cases since it removed many of the measures it imposed to contain the virus for the past 3 years. That was under the the assumption that hey, COVID-19 might be it might die off, and it's been 3 years. Can we please resume normal life? Well, hell no, it's not going to go. I'm telling you, it's going to be around for the next 2 years. I mean, not to the degree that it is now in China, but it's still going to be present in some form or another for at least 2 years, like majorly, and then minorly for several more years. So yeah, we covered this, and yeah, that's it. Germany is advising against travel to China. So yeah, there is that. Now, I think that's it in terms of like politics related junk. So now we're moving on to what I would call the world news and events, and this is not really a world news and event. I did try to look. We did find that one thing that was actually worth talking about. But in reality, most of this is either Russian news or like whatever the fuck that is. We covered that. It's mostly Prince Harry and who is his father and whatever other garbage, and more garbage and more garbage, more garbage. Just stuff that is not really entertaining or doesn't really bring to the like any value to me or to any of the viewers of this channel. Like if you're going to watch this show, you might as well take something that like something that you might have learned or something that might be useful to you. So something that you should know is that glaciers are melting faster than the predictions due to climate change, and nearly half of the world's glaciers, excluding areas like Antarctica, because the Arctic and whatever in Greenland, not Arctic. What the hell is wrong? Whoa, that's loud. As I was saying, what was I saying? Fuck, I was going off off the top of my head. I actually don't have points for this. Yeah. Nearly half of the world's glaciers, excluding Antarctica and Greenland, will melt before the century. Like in about 77 years, over half of them would be gone. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and we're going to watch this video because it explains a little bit about like how this is a problem, how climate change is a problem. I mean, we all know that it is a problem, but how is it affecting? How glaciers melting is related to climate change? So. The world's glaciers are melting faster than scientists thought, according to a new study in the journal Science.
We can really think about the smaller glaciers in areas like Western Canada and the United States or Central Europe.
So these kind of small kind of glaciers are located in the north of places like Canada and the United States, mainly at the top in like the top near the border, especially in mountainous regions where the higher altitude adds to a lot of snow and a lot of ice, and especially in Canada where there is abundance of ice, and especially northern Canada, which is closer to the North Pole, adds a lot of ice. So
where there's a much larger presence of these glaciers in society because they're more accessible than these large remote glaciers in the Arctic.
That is true. Due to these kind of glaciers that are in places like north of Europe or north of the United States and North America, basically, the norther you go, the more chances of snow being there. And since the fact that these are like actual countries with like actual like a number of population, maybe there is some kind of residential areas near these glaciers or these places where ice generates. So I have to make like at least a little bit of sense of what I'm trying to say. Anyway.
But those glaciers are also smaller, and one of the things that we found was that they're really sensitive to differences in temperature between 2 and 3 degrees. So with climate pledges,
that is true. The rate of melting does matter of the temperature. If it is let's say like exactly 1 degree Celsius, and even 1.5 or 2 can speed up the rate that ice melts by twice. And obviously it's not going to have an effect in the short term. Sure, you might have a couple of water patches from here to there, but given the fact that these ice things are natural and they have survived for years, maybe tens of years, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands, I don't know, and the fact that they are melting purely not due to a natural cause and morally a climate change, which is due to artificial reasons.
Is currently being at about 2.7 degrees, they're going to experience a lot of deglaciation in those regions.
So the correct term is deglaciation? Really? Is that even a word? Yeah, the disappearance of ice from a previously glaciated. That's a different term. Well, we're not gonna go down to that rabbit hole, but anyway.
If we are not able to act or change.
Scientists say melting ice sheets will fuel sea level rise more than glaciers. So I think now is a good time to talk about this sea level rise. People will ask like generally why sea level rise is bad. Well, I will get to that, but first I want to explain what will happen. Well, first of all, this melting ice will lead to sea level rise by around 8 to 16 centimeters, and I mean globally. The study that they showed that an increase of just one damn it, then an increase of just 1.5 degrees Celsius, which is now extremely hard to avoid, will wipe out over 100,000 glaciers from around the world. And an increase of just 3 degrees Celsius will wipe out more than 70% of the global glaciers and will result in about 12 to 13 centimeters of sea level rise. Now, the sea level rise, why is sea level rise bad? The sea level rise makes hurricanes and other storms more dangerous because of higher storm surges and higher chances of floods. And the higher chances of floods can be devastating to coastal areas. Coastal areas are the greatest risk of being affected due to sea level rise. And due to the sea level rise, you know that river water also flows into oceans. If the sea level is riser, then it will be much harder for that water to flow into the ocean. So it might just form there, and and stagnant water can actually develop like bacteria. I'm not okay. No, it wouldn't just. It's stagnant water. It wouldn't develop bacteria. But that stagnant water can be can generate a couple of problems. Plus, if the ocean water rises above land, it can actually reach like nearby farms and reservoirs and damage the crops and drinking water. That's why it is bad. And yeah, I think that just explains why sea level rise is bad. You can actually Google why sea level rise is bad, and I will link it in the description if you want to make a quick read about it. So yeah. That's it? Seriously? Okay, so anyway, now to some actual like content that we're going to read. But anyway, half of Earth's glaciers could melt even if key warming goals is met, study says. This is by the Washington Post. It'll also be in the description down below. Let's zoom in. So, a sweeping study of all the world's glaciers outside of the Greenland and Antarctic ice sheets has found that nearly half of them will melt by the country's end, even if the world meets its most ambitious global warming goal. This study, published on Thursday in the journal Science, you can read about this, finds that even with just 1.5 degrees Celsius, or about 2.7 American units, I'm going to call Fahrenheit American units, I'm going to piss off a lot of people, of warming above pre-industrial levels, around 104,000 of the world's mountain glaciers, which total of them is around 215,000, their glaciers and ice cap will start to melt, raising global sea levels by a little shy of 4 inches. So, a rise of 1.5 degrees Celsius, which is 2.7 American units, freedom units, beyond pre-industrial temperatures is now extraordinarily difficult to avoid due to global warming, basically. Suggesting that a chance of this magnitude may nearly be unstoppable. With every additional increment of temperature increase, the study finds that the outlook becomes worse. 3 degrees, which is around 5.4 freedom units of warming, the research finds would translate into a loss of well over 70% of global glaciers and result in about 5 inches of global sea level rise. Even if many losses are baked in, the authors say, it is still not worth trying to avoid whatever warming we can. It is still worth trying to avoid whatever warming we can. Yes, that is 100% true. Regardless of how bad it can be, it can still always get worse. So yeah, any reduction in the temperature increase will have a substantial impact on sea level rise and the loss of glaciers globally. A substantial decline on sea level rise. The study, rounds. I should have covered this anyway. This study's lead author and a researcher at the Carnegie Mellon University and the University of Alaska at Fairbanks. David Bounds said that any reduction, he said this, and he conducted the research with an international group of glaciologists. Oh, that's another term. Jeez, can you become a glacier? I don't know. Glaciologists affected with research institutions in Austria, Canada, France, Norway, Switzerland, Britain, and the United States. This planet has been gradually losing glacial ice since the peak of the last major ice age, which was around 20,000 years ago. But it still has a lot to give. The largest amount of remaining ice is still concentrated in the ice sheets of Greenland and Antarctica. That is obviously expected. Greenland and Antarctica are packed with mostly ice due to them being closer to the North Pole and usually mostly being uninhabited. Like most of Greenland, like especially towards the north, is uninhabited, which accordingly pose the greatest threat of major sea level rise because both of them are surrounded by like water. They're not like huge bodies, especially Greenland, which is like relatively small compared to the other continents. And Greenland being in between the United Kingdom, between Asia and America, and then surrounded by water, can actually be a little bit of a big threat. Whereas Antarctica is not really much of a big threat as compared to Greenland because it's down in the south, and the only thing near it is probably Australia. And who the fuck cares about Australia anyway? Fuck you, Australia. It's okay. Too far. Anyway. But across the Antarctic, I don't like Australians. Like, I'm not being like like discriminatory or anything. I just don't like Australians. All right. Well, I guess I don't like people with upside down mentalities. So I guess I don't like people who are upside down. But anyway. But across the Arctic and Antarctic, as well as the planet's more temperature latitudes, many high mountain regions also feature numerous glaciers. This is because, as you go up in altitude, and the more higher you go, the higher chance of that because of the lower temperature and the pressure, the drop in pressure creates snow. So yeah, anyway, where thick ice has accumulated because of centuries or even millennia, which is thousands of years of snowfall, these glaciers then accumulate more ice in the winters and lose some of it in the spring and summer, feeding rivers downstream. That is how rivers are formed, due to springs and due to glaciers that melt over time. They form rivers, like the rivers that flow down the mountain through the valleys. Anyway, human societies rely on these ice masses for water supply. Yes, these rivers that come from these mountains because of hot water springs or by glaciers do have a lot of purpose. For example, this river water, it does work as a source of supply. You might have seen people who take buckets or pots. I mean, you wouldn't say pots, it's a very Indian thing, but you do see lots of people who sit by the banks. It's not just used by fishing. The water can actually be pure and usable. Maybe not in its form, in its normal form. It can't be used for something like drinking, but it can be used for irrigation purposes. It can be used, I mean, you guys know this, right? You guys know how river water can be used. I don't even know why I'm explaining this, but it is a good source of water supply. And most of the rivers, not most, I guess a good portion of the rivers do originate from mountainous regions, and these rivers either come from melting ice from glaciers or other ice sheets, or by hot water springs that are fed up through the mountain. And usually these springs are usually hot water springs, if you guys didn't know. I think the correct term for it is geyser. No, not the water heater geyser, but I think the term is geyser. But anyway, in many where was I? Glaciers in the region feed water into massive river systems, including the Indus and the Ganges. An estimated 1.9 billion people worldwide depend on glaciers for water, the research notes. And most of this is probably used for agricultural purposes and not really for anything else. I actually don't know. It might be used for something else that I'm missing, but I think a good portion of it is used for agricultural purposes. because it's a good source of water, and it's a consistent source of water. So yeah, in many cases, mountain glaciers also have great cultural and tourism significance. Example, the Glacier National Park in the United States. These glaciers in the Montana region are in severe trouble. Their size and number have been plummeted since 1850, according to surveys and mapping by the United States Geological Survey. And it's not just about these glaciers. There are other mountain glaciers. I actually don't know about it, and I will link it down in the description so I can read about other like famous glaciers. Not glaciers. Like other ice patches that have some kind of cultural significance. So yeah, anyway, this study, it was released on Thursday, and finds that worldwide this process of shrinking up to and including total loss will affect many of the world's smaller glaciers, those less than 1 square kilometer or 0.9 square miles in an area. Larger glaciers and more densely glaciated regions in the Arctic and Antarctic will be more resilient as the century wears on and temperatures continue to rise. But the research finds that melting and contributing to sea level rise, but not necessarily disappearing. The glaciers of Alaska, for instance, are a leading contributor to sea level rise. This will continue, but some of the ice deposits are vast enough and in cold enough places that they are projected to withstand even 4 degrees Celsius, or about 7.2 American units of warming. But that's not always true of many smaller glaciers in the middle latitudes, because as that water melts, ice around it can melt easier. Like, did that make sense? I think that makes sense. So yeah, in regions including the Alps in Europe, the Peruvian Andes, and the peaks of New Zealand's South Island. So yeah, this goes into more deep, and I think that's a good place to end it there. As for what I have to say, I feel like yes, smaller glaciers do have a lower chance of survival if global warming trends continue to increase. But I think the bigger ones, especially the ones found in Greenland or in Antarctica, will survive for the most part, and there is always time to improve. There is always time to implement change that can reduce global warming and can prevent sea level rise and all the other advantages that are there. So anyway, that's the story done, and we're gonna call it there. So I think that's the only thing we have to talk about. We don't have, do we have any business use? Yes, we do. Let me just mark this as done so I don't like accidentally read the whole thing again, because I think that might happen one time. And okay, it's already 11:57. Okay. All right. Where was I? I'm still trying to think. What was I trying to do? Anyway, I think I'll just go get a sip of water and come. And you guys better not go anywhere. I swear, all of you who are watching, you better be here, or else I'm gonna be very angry. I didn't check my audio in a long time. Yep, it's still good. I don't know, I'm just like, did I accidentally mute, or somehow did the audio get cut off? Because I don't have a secondary mic or I don't have a secondary audio source. I just have this. It's connected directly into my audio interface. So yeah, quick break. I'll be right back. All right, no going anywhere. I'm serious. I'm serious. Where is it? No, wrong one. God damn it. I suck at this. I'm gonna put on some I'm gonna put some of this. Be back.
Drink till I'm drunk, smoke till I'm high, kiss alone a hill Wake up in the sky, you can't tell me I'm not fly. I'm super fly. Yeah, the ladies love it luxury. That's what they are. I do with the moves like I invented smooth. You can't tell me I'm not fly. Yeah, I'm super fly. Yeah, you can't tell me I'm not. Yeah, you can't tell me I'm not. Drink till I'm drunk, smoke till I'm high. Castle on a hill, wake up in the sky. You can't tell me I'm not fly. I'm super fly. Yeah, the ladies love the luxury. That's what they are. I do with the moves like I invented smooth. You can't tell me I'm not fly. Yeah, I'm super fly. Yeah, you can't tell me I'm not. Yeah, you can't tell me I'm not.
Okay, we're back. That was the wrong one. God damn it! I wanted to switch that one. All right, we're back. What was I wanted to talk about? I wanted to, yeah. I was thinking about like once we meet like some kind of donations or something. I already talked about this in episode 0, but as I said, I wanted to do this on Twitch or YouTube, and the first thing that I'm gonna buy is a subscription to Restream so I can stream on both YouTube and Twitch. I already spoke about this, and if I was only going to do a stream on Twitch, it's gonna do something about gaming. And I did do a test, like, can my computer handle gaming, or the capture card that I have, can I plug my PlayStation 4 into that, and then can I do some kind of gaming kind of commentary live stream? I mean, it won't be commentary about the game, and it won't be like boring or anything. Like, hey, it's just watching someone for the game that they're playing. No, if I'm doing a gaming live stream, they're gonna watch it for me and for what I have to say about something. So yeah, that's something that I wanted to do. So anyway, let's move on to the next one. Is the clock still working? Yes, the clock does work. I knew it. So we have, I think, only one like business, like business or like related thing, because no, I didn't read about that. We'll cover this later. We're covering this now. What is this? I have no idea. I didn't understand anything. I don't even know what Beth Bath Beyond is. Chat GPT. We didn't cover this, did we? We did cover the like why schools are trying to ban them and whatever. Southwest apologize, no. Inflation, blah 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 blah. Boring. Like obviously it's gonna be useful, but I don't want it to be like boring. Or I could just read like stock information for that. Morph Cosmetics, no. Netflix, no. But I think that's it. What is RAM? Did we already have like a Rivian looking thing? I think it was called Rivian. No. Like not really anything. But we do have the Salesforce thing. So yeah, Salesforce is if you guys don't know I'll get into what Salesforce is. But Salesforce is laying off almost 10% of its employees and shutting down some offices due to them overhiring after the pandemic kind of calmed down. So that's the latest like in the layoff kind of like news, because there have been a ton of layoffs recently. So anyway, if you guys don't know what Salesforce is, which you might be because it's very like related to e-commerce and whatnot. But anyway, Salesforce is a software company that provides businesses with CRM, customer relations management solutions, and solutions for like managing sales, customer service, marketing automation, analytics, statistics, and app development. The company that I do work for does use Salesforce, and we do use their solutions for managing sales and customer service. And I haven't personally used Salesforce, but I do know that many of my colleagues do. So yeah, it was founded in 1999 by the former Oracle executive and still to this day CEO Mark Benioff, and who, by the way, is now under scrutiny for comparing losing like employees who were laid off to mourning people who have died. So we'll get into that. But anyway, where is the thing? So Salesforce said on Wednesday that it'll be cutting about 10% of its workforce, mostly over the coming weeks, and close some offices as part of a cost-cutting drive. This was said by Mark Benioff, the CEO. This is a statement by him. The environment remains challenging, and our customers are taking a more measured approach to their purchasing decisions. While with this in mind, we have made the very difficult decision to reduce our workforce by about 10%, mostly over the coming weeks. He also added, as our event accelerated to the pandemic, we hired too many people leading into this economic downturn we are now facing, and I take responsibility of that. The job cuts have been on the horizon for several weeks, mostly in the Silicon Valley industry, like Amazon, Netflix, Coinbase. We did cover Coinbase like specifically. And yeah, in December, that some Salesforce employees were being asked to identify their bottom 10% of employees. Affected employees were due to receive an email within an hour of the announcement. Laid-off staff in the U.S. would get close to 5 months of pay, health insurance, and career resources. In a regulatory filing published on Wednesday, Salesforce and its said it would make select real estate exits and office space reductions within certain markets. These reductions and the headcount cut formed part of a restructuring plan intended to reduce operating costs, improve operating margins, and continue advancing the company's ongoing commitment to profitable growth. The company says in the filing that it expects to spend between $1 and $1.4 billion on employee transition, severance payments, employee benefits, which are basically like perks, I think, and share-based compensation, and a further $450 million to $650 million on exit charges related to its office space reductions. As of January 31st, 2022. Oh yeah, wait, no. As of January 31st of last year, Salesforce had around 73,540 employees, with 55% of them based in the US, and I think most of them were either based in more Western countries like EU, like west part of Europe, or Canada, most specifically. So yeah, now let's talk about the other thing where the CEO, Mark Benioff, compared losing employees due to layoffs is similar to mourning people who have died, which is, I don't know, kind of like a dumb comparison in my opinion. But anyway, shit, I am so sorry. God damn it. Did that like peak really loudly? Like, if I mute my mic, shit, it goes into the red. Like, you know, in OBS when the bar becomes red when it's like peaked. Jeez, I'm so sorry. I'm actually like genuinely sorry. But anyway, the Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff compared losing employees due to layoffs to mourning people who have died in an all-hands call on Thursday. He said at a kickoff of every year, we have a moment where we say goodbye to everyone who's died during this year. He said on a 2-hour call with his employees. And loss. Why did they have to add what the hell is this? Okay, and loss is really difficult, and losing folks, and especially losing our trusted colleagues and our managers or employees, is very similar in a lot of ways to me. We need to kind of acknowledge that and give ourselves time to mourn and kind of be able to move forward. Well, since the fact that you caused it, I don't think that it's kind of like the give ourselves time to mourn when if you're the one who's causing the apparent losses. But okay, whatever. Salesforce, yeah, we covered that. So there's that. People are like making fun of this and be like, what the hell? Okay, there's that. That's the only business news that we have on like now. We don't have anything else. The only other thing that we have, let's look at Twitter, because there will obviously be something on Twitter. Let's see if any of my no, I've turned the turn off the thing. Happy birthday, Jeremy. Is this the quartering? Obviously no. Why would anybody care about the quartering? Okay. Is there anything like anything for me to talk about? Because all I have remaining are the stuff related to technology, and obviously the Logan Paul and the Tate stuff, but that's stuff that I really don't want to talk about. This is not a show where I want to discuss like online drama and other garbage, but this is not refreshing for some reason. What about entertainment? Well, this is another cesspit. Album of the year. Let's see, what is the album of the year? I'm getting okay, it is BDS obviously. What is Snyderverse? I have no idea. Tubbo, probably Bangkok, Thailand. So K-pop. Destiny 2 is trending for some reason. Why? Why is Destiny trending? For no reason. Whatever. Obviously, PC gaming is trending. Whoa. Hold the fucking phone. Hold up. Why is PC gaming trending? New World I haven't played actually. I don't know when. I don't know what it is, but I haven't played it. Is there like any news for me to talk about? How do I do this show for another 2 hours? I still have 2 hours remaining, or an hour and 10 actually. That is nothing. What is Dino? Of course. Okay, why is Tubbo trending? Okay. Not something that is worth talking. I actually did used to like Tubbo, but now I guess I'm grown up. No, I was 20 when Tabo was trending. No, wait. No, I was 17. Tabo trends every day, but anyway, there's nothing for me to talk about. Like, how am I supposed to do the show for another? Okay, Islamic Republic. Probably, I would be doomed if I would cover that. Is this Michael Reeves? It better be Michael Reeves. No, it's not. I hate life. Is there anything related to Michael Reeves here? No. Who is Lauren now? Come on, there has to be something. Like some form of content here. Nothing. Stop execution in Iran. That's a trend. Is this like, what is BLUR? Oh, okay. Good thing I didn't know about that. There's nothing. There's nothing to talk about. Oh, I'm looking at Indian trends. Let me switch to the US trends. Oh wait. Is there anything? Alright, well, Twitter was a waste. Let's look at reddit.com/r/news. Something. Kevin McCarthy. This just happened like now, so I don't really know. No, this happened at 7 in the morning. 6-year-old shot. Is there anything that we can talk about? No, you know what? I give up. Let's just move on to the technology part of the show, which is we'll move on to the technology stuff. We'll move from the technology stuff to the like what do you call it? Like the entertainment stuff. Like, we just have 2 entertainment stories, and that's Logan Paul deleted his video responding to CoffeeZilla, and then what was the other one? The Andrew Tate garbage. So let me just check. Which one do we start with? Do we start with like CES 2023? Yeah, we should start with CES 2023. So Engadget made their CES 2023 like best of CES 2023 stuff. They made a video about it, so I wanted to watch that. No, wait, where was it? The purple link, yes. So we'll watch this.
At long last, CES 2023 is coming to a close. We've braved the storms, the viruses, the ever-present cigarette smoke, covering basically every inch of the convention to bring you the most interesting news from the show. From the typical eye-watering TV sets to color-changing cars to dual-screen laptops.
I did see this dual-screen laptop. We'll get into this.
To exosuits, smart kitchen
What is exosuits? Oh yeah, I have to enable captions.
appliances, and more, the products on display at CES continue to span a vast variety of categories. This year, the Engadget team considered all the show had to offer and organized them into
What did they just do?
This year, the Engadget
Okay, maybe it is useful for stuff like browsing 2 subreddits at the same time, I don't know.
The team considered all the show had to offer and organized them into 12 categories, including home theater, TV product,
Micro LED, this is by Samsung.
connected home, transportation,
Oh, this is the RAM. Is it the truck one?
Nation.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you can see the bed of the truck.
robots, gaming, and mobile. Out of all the individual category winners, our team then voted for our favorite item to crown the overall
I will also be commenting about their picks and whatever about is this.
best of show. And without further ado, here are our winners for CES 2023.
This is an LG signature OLED. I think this is the wireless one. Like, I saw this. I mean, I didn't. I saw like the coverage of this. Isn't it like some kind of wireless TV thing?
LG unveiled several new OLED TVs at CES this year, but the standout was the signature OLED M3, which won our home theater
97 inches. Yeah, wireless OLED TV there. That was talking about. I mean, it's not really like used for the consumer market. Like, if it's a TV, you would want the stuff that the thing that makes the image within the TV, unless it's like supposed to be recessed into the wall. Like, you know, when you mount the wall. God damn it! When you mount the wall, let me sit up straight. This, when you mount the wall and you want the display to be flush against the wall, you would actually cut into your wall and place the TV within the wall. Like, does that make sense? Like, you want it to be recessed into the wall, so you would want the thinnest TV possible, so you could have the processing and the inputs and the outputs somewhere else. So that's my first like reason as to why this thing exists. The second reason is accessibility. If this thing is on the other side of where you're sitting, getting up and trying to plug something in might be a hassle. Or if it's mounted inside like the wall, or if it's wall mounted and trying to reach behind, is not really something you want to do. And considering if you have buckets of money and you want to buy this thing, it does make sense for like plugging stuff in, or like pointing the TV remote at it, or like making sure it's close to an Ethernet jack or a power outlet or whatnot. I don't know, this really doesn't make sense in the home theater section, especially since it's only 97 inches, and the standard I think is around 120 to 140 inches in the home theater space. I mean, obviously this can be used as a big like TV, in a console, not in like a TV console in a living room. It'll obviously be much bigger than the standard. If it's the standard, I think it's 65 inches or maybe 55. I don't know. So anyway,
category because of its wireless transmission tech. LG claims its proprietary standard can provide 3 times the speed of Wi-Fi 6.
okay, so what's the speed of Wi-Fi 6? I think it's like 9.6 gigabits per second, so 28.8, right? 28.8, I think. Did I say? What? Yeah, 28. I'm good at maths. What the hell? I'm not. I'm kidding. So this thing can provide 3 times the speed of Wi-Fi 6. I mean, what is the range? What is the like? Is it directional? I mean, can it be is it affected by directionality or range or whatever? But considering that it's 3 times, I mean, obviously this is still a demo. It's still a what is the correct term for it? Like something that exists. I don't know what it's called, but anyway.
Letting you beam HDMI signals from its Zero Connect box to the M3 at 4K and 120 Hz. The idea is
So, what is the bandwidth for 4K 120 Hz? I don't know. So, so it says 18 gigabyte. No, HDMI 2.0 can do 4K 4K 60, right? So to do 4K HDMI 2.0 speed is 18 gigabits per second. So I think, yeah, it might be enough. I mean, it's 28. yeah, it might be enough.
Make it easier to mount the TV in places that might otherwise obstruct cables, like above a fireplace, for example.
Who mounts their TV above a fireplace? Seriously, guys, we are in the 21st century. That is all 90s shit. Wait, no, is it early 2000s? Because how would you mount a CRT above a fireplace? Unless like the fireplace is small and there's a recessed cavity where you put that CRT in. Because, yeah, I think it was very early LCD where it was like a trend to put your TV above a fireplace because you're some kind of monster.
And let you put the visual clutter that comes with any home entertainment system.
That's another thing that I forgot to mention is cable management. In reality, you can have a completely clean setup and all of your other shit is somewhere in like inside a cabinet, and you have maybe one cable that runs power and data to the TV. That is one thing I forgot to mention, cleanliness.
Somewhere out of the way. CES has always been the place to show off the latest and greatest in TV technology.
That is true. Like even going back a couple of years ago, you remember the first Dell 8K monitor? The Dell... Oh, Control Shift P. Wait, what the hell? You guys remember the Dell UP321AK? This was unveiled at CES at $4,000 US. How much is 4,000? 3,29. You can buy a lot. You know how big of a screen you can buy, but it won't be as high res as this. It'll be 4K maximum. Oh, did I close it? Oh fuck. No, I didn't close it, did I? No, yeah.
Giving us a preview of how regular people.
So yeah, not just that 8K monitor. Samsung also unveiled their like 49-inch ultra-wide monitor. Samsung also unveiled their QLED or quantum dot like technology. Acer, was it Acer or Alienware? One of those two companies unveiled a 500 hertz monitor at CES. So yeah, it is the place for displays because most of these are consumer displays. You wouldn't really want to show off like a jumbotron, or like nobody really reviews jumbotrons. It's mostly done on a private basis where usually companies would reach out. So yeah,
will be able to deck out their home entertainment systems once the tech goes mainstream. This year was no exception, and what felt most significant in 2023 was Samsung's continued advancements in its micro LED TVs. It's been 5 years since Samsung's giant The Wall TV that...
What was it? The giant The Wall TV? Why does it not work? So Control Shift P. Control Shift P. I guess my last so what was it? Samsung The Wall TV. How big is this thing? Yeah, micro LED. It was launched in for luxury living. Can you not download the thing? Okay. There's no thing. Okay, obviously there's no like documentation because it's just for business related stuff. I just want to see the brochure and what this thing is because I've never heard it before. Do I have to like download it or stuff? You can get it in like any size or something. You can get it if up to 292 inches. So like obviously for something like a big meeting room, this might make sense. You can put it in frame. You can put. Okay, whatever. Yeah, well, whatever. No one cares.
Cost as much as a house, but now we're seeing the tech come to 50 and 63-inch TVs that will actually fit in people's
What is 63 inch? Why is that a size?
living rooms. When Apple added MagSafe charging to the iPhone back in 2020, it created an incredibly simple and convenient way of juicing up his phones.
Yeah,
At CES 20.
MagSafe was insanely popular on the MacBooks, and it was genuinely a selling point for, you know, the anti-tugging to the which was basically that if you yank the cable, it'll not drag the if you like yank the cable or got caught up on the cable and you tried to pull it, it'll not drag the MacBook with it on the floor. There have been tons of cases where other laptops which don't have MagSafe or like a quick disconnect, where you will get tangled on the cable, and you would pull it and you'll pull the laptop with you and it could actually fall. So yeah.
2023, the Wireless Power Consortium, which Apple is a member of, released details on the T2 charging standard that will finally bring that same functionality to the rest of the handset market. T2 should be available on retail devices starting later this year in Q4.
Then we have this thing from Lenovo. I don't like. Okay, I actually have nothing to say. It's pretty cool.
It's not perfect yet, but Lenovo's YogaBook 9i could potentially shake up modern laptop design in a way we haven't seen since the original Surface Pro a decade ago. You can arrange its two 13.3-inch OLED screens on top of each other or side by side depending on your needs, choose between a virtual or detachable Bluetooth keyboard, and even use a stylus. It's a level of
It's funny how they didn't mention the touchpad, because even they know that a touchpad without like tactile buttons or like some form of tactile feedback for pressing the left and right click is terrible.
Flexibility and adaptability that traditional laptops simply can't match. And unlike many wild CES concepts, it's actually coming out this spring.
What the fuck is that? Is that some kind of alien technology that they're building?
Project Leonardo is Sony's first piece of gaming hardware designed specifically for people with limited motor control.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking, I'm like, wait, it is a controller. It has L1, L2, and I'm thinking, oh, this is a competitor to the Xbox adaptive controller, which, if you guys don't know, looks something like this. And that is an NES controller. You might have also seen the Linus Tech Tips video about this, where there are a bunch of 3.5mm not headphones, like basically ports where you could plug stuff like buttons or like joysticks, basically for people who have some kind of disabilities. Maybe they have more function, more abilities for their right hand rather than the left hand. So instead of using their left hand, they could use like controls for their feet, controls for, you know, moving around or something. Basically giving so it's basically made for everyone. That's the thing. If that made any sense.
The company partnered with advocacy organizations including Able Gamers and Special Effect, just like Microsoft did with the
I swear I haven't seen this before. I just looked at it. I'm like, okay, this is a competitor to the Xbox adaptive controller. I swear I haven't seen this video before.
Xbox adaptive controller. Project Leonardo represents another positive step for accessibility tech in video games, a market that is filled with surprises and primed for growth in 2023. Valencell is a pioneer in optical heart rate sensors.
What is this? Oh, it's the heart rate measurer. It has. I have one of these. Wait. It's in the other room. Never mind.
Valencell is a pioneer in optical heart rate sensors, and it came to CES with a cuffless blood pressure monitor. Instead of strapping an inflatable cuff around your arm, this device uses two optical sensors and a lot of AI know-how to work out your blood pressure. It's a prototype for now, and one that needs a lot of regulatory scrutiny before it reaches consumers.
Yes, that is true, because you cannot screw up something like this, especially something that is related to medical and healthcare assistance, because traditional methods do have a lot of like experience and work done around them to make them as reliable as possible, and this should match that or even exceed it.
But if its promises turn out to be accurate, it could revolutionize how we monitor our heart health. Someone once said that baking is love made edible, but nobody said that you...
Who the fuck said that? Where's my gun?
You can't use a robot to
I'm
help
kidding, I'm not
that
American.
love be the best it can be. GE's Smart Mixer has a built-in scale to help you accurately weigh your ingredients and voice control.
Alright, that is actually really cool. Like you can put the exact amount of like, okay, 200 grams of flour, a couple of eggs, 135 grams of sugar and whatever. Like I know how to bake like a simple cake, and let me tell you, if this thing has a weight thing in it, like a weighing scale, not a weight measurer. What the hell? If it has a weighing scale in it, it's actually really cool.
Control to save you pushing buttons with doughy hands. Its app connectivity will help novice
That is
makers,
all.
while
That is also cool.
its built-in sensors ensure that mixes aren't under or over stirred. It's not cheap, but can you put a price on love?
Oh, it's obviously not cheap. Yes, you can put a price on love. I think I'll pay like $4.99 IN for it, cash.
When your job involves moving heavy stuff from one place to another, like say in an Amazon warehouse, an aching back isn't just an irritation. It could lead to lost wages and employment.
That is true. Like stuff where you have to constantly move like large and heavy boxes throughout warehouses can put a lot of strain on your back and could result in some kind of back injury, especially if you're overworked and you're strained, which can also lead to, you know, more stress, more pain, and eventually less efficiency and less work being done.
German Bionic's newest powered exoskeleton, the Apogee, helps with the heavy lifting. It supports the wearer's back and legs to compensate for up to 66 pounds and ensures proper posture. The monitoring system even audibly alerts the user when they're making unsafe movements.
Proper posture can also help out in reducing strain on specific parts of your back. If you have good posture, if you're walking straight, not like bent or like limping forwards, if you're walking straight and maintaining your posture while working, and by lifting heavy things and moving them properly will even inevitably obviously make it better. So yeah.
L'Oreal's Hapta assistive lipstick applicator is surprisingly refined. The cosmetics company partnered with utensil maker Verily to create a grip and gimbal system that lets those with limited finger dexterity or strength more independently apply lipstick. Though there are some quirks the company needs to iron out before releasing the Hapta in December, it's impressive that this is both a finished product and has a relatively affordable suggested retail price of $150 to $200.
I would guarantee if somebody would spend that, but I have nothing to say.
All the accessibility related products we saw at the CES.
I mean, I guess it does look kind of minimalist. I don't know why it has this on it. That really doesn't make much sense to me. If it is a handle, why isn't it like properly gripped? I guess it's for minimalist looks, which I guess L'Oreal's target consumers might prefer.
Hapta is the most polished and unique while being actually helpful.
Next we have this thing which looks like a U. Okay, not a U. I don't know why it looks like it's like short in height, which might be for like aerodynamics or whatever, but also, what is this seam? These are these are the indicator lights. No, the indicator lights might be built in, and these are the reverse lights. But it does look cool. It doesn't look as cool as the Cybertruck. I mean, come on.
The Ram 1500 Revolution BEV concept takes one of America's most iconic trucks and packs everything high.
Wait, did she say a projector built in?
Four-wheel steering, an animated grille, an integrated
Really? I mean, damn. Oh, okay, well that's actually really cool.
movie projector, an AI assistant, as well as a shadow mode where the truck follows along its dismounted driver from a safe distance. The BEV concept itself won't be entering production, but it will directly inform the design decisions going into the 2024 Ram 1500 EV, which will launch next year.
Is that the Sony Weibo?
Luna is smart
No.
enough to scurry around your living space without running into walls or off of countertops, but the real magic is in its expressiveness.
Is
Beyond
this another Jibo thing? Which, if guys don't know what Jibo is, it's a horrible, horrible virtual assistant. And it also has the same problem that this thing has. Which, why does it not have a OLED screen? If this thing was black, you wouldn't be able to see the display and it would look visually more appealing. Same thing with this stupid thing. If you guys haven't seen the Linus Tech Tip video about this, I guess it's not on the I guess it's not on the like recommended by YouTube or something.
her charms, Luna also comes loaded with
Luna is a he. I mean her. Okay.
sensors for
I
responding
don't know why I thought Luna was a he name.
to your voice, gestures, and touch.
Also, it's a lot smaller than I expected. I mean, that's what she wished she didn't say, but actually I thought it was like gonna be a little bit bigger, but it looks like a toy that you might want your kids to play with or your pets.
And a collection of games that turn the virtual pet into quite the clever companion. These same sensors also make her a capable home security bot and something of a STEM tool for kids via
It can actually work as a little bit of a spy thing. It can't be worked to enforce home security. It can just be used to monitor it.
a graphical programming option to teach Luna new interactions. Altogether, Luna is a capable home robot that just happens to love having its ears tickled. And finally,
Uh-oh.
for the best of the best at the show, it's Sony's Project Leonardo for the PlayStation 5. Well, congrats to all of our winners, and that about wraps up our coverage.
I actually didn't expect that, but I guess any effort into try to increase gaming and put an effort to make gaming available to the widespread audience, including people with disabilities or with a lack of motor functions. I guess it makes sense. But anyway, alright, there's that. Now let's look at the Verge CES 2023. I don't think they made like a video or something. Holy shit, it took 40 minutes to cover that. Do we have... We don't have... Okay, so we don't have like a video that we could watch. Yeah, the Verge Awards. Okay, best TV. Looks like we have a little bit of a different... Okay, first we'll cover it properly. The Verge Awards at CES 2023, a show of wild concepts and far out tech. This year's best gadgets got real. It's been 3 years, a year since we set foot on the CES show. 3 years, really? No, the 2020 CES wasn't cancelled, was it? The 2021 was obviously cancelled. 2022. Okay, yeah, it's been 3 years basically. The in-person portion of the conference was cancelled in 2021 due to COVID, and the Omicron surge led to a much smaller event in 2022 than everyone had hoped for. But for 2023, the show's energy was back, and so was its typical title, a wave of announcements. Then blah 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 blah. There were OLED monitors, there were laptops got bigger, smart home gadgets actually worked together, even some concept cars picked up the word prototype, and yeah, other stuff. So the Verge's award for the best TV is the Samsung 77-inch S95C. So it relies on the QD OLED, the quantum dot OLED panel, which is basically like mini LED, but a little bit of a different technology. So it can produce more vivid colors at higher brightness levels than conventional OLEDs, like those used in LG's C series and B series TVs. It's not a massive difference, but home theater nerds like the author of this article can definitely see the added vibrance, which I don't think might be a good thing because too much brightness is bad. The display can hit 2000 nits of peak brightness, so that might be, yeah, that's brighter than everything I own, and probably more brighter than most people's futures. But anyway, right up there with the very best mini LED TVs, and can do 140 hertz VRR gaming. What is VRR gaming? Variable refresh rate. Okay, so G-Sync or FreeSync or V-Sync or whatever. Variable refresh rate. Yes, okay. I should have known that. Well, why did I Google that? I know it. It's even got powerful Dolby Atmos sound system built in, but there is still no Dolby Vision. Samsung has learned a lot from the 2022's S95B OLED, and the second time around should be even better. Plus, this one comes with an even bigger 77-inch size. In short, this could be one of the best OLED TVs yet, unless Sony comes along and beat it. So that's the Verge's winner. The honorable mention is the LG Signature OLED M, which I don't really know what is. I didn't watch a lot of stuff like related to TVs or anything. Oh, it is that. It's just called something else. Yeah, LG, the wireless thing, it's 97 inches. It gets all of its audio and video from a Zero Connect box. I think Samsung's is called One Connect, and this one is called Zero. It can be put anywhere in the room within 30 feet. You plug all of your shit and the other shit into it, and it can deliver up to 4K, 120 Hz, blah 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 blah. So anyway, best laptop, this thing, the Lenovo Yoga Book 9i. It's kind of futuristic, but is it practical? Maybe, I don't know. So best monitor, the Odyssey OLED G9. It was the world's first 32:9. It was called the CH-G90, I think. The Samsung CH-G90, right? Yeah, CH-G90. That was released in 2017. Jeez. And this is the updated one. It'll have 240 hertz, and it's 5K by 1440. And yeah, so best car, damn, those, it does not look good. I mean, I don't know, I really don't like cars with smooth edges. I just think it looks like horrible. But anyway, the electric car from Sony. Oh yeah, I feel of it, the inbuilt gaming and all of that. Sony promised it would have an electric car to show off at this year's CES, and it did, and I don't think we were prepared for what we saw. Afeela, that's right, Afeela, is the name that Sony gave its new lineup of EVs that it's making with Honda. Silly brand names aside, it looks legit. It does not look good, in my opinion. No, it doesn't. I think it's like a 4 out of 10. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it has a built-in, it may even have a built-in PS5 at some point, because why not? I mean, it'll be kind of cool to be able to drive your real-life car with a dual sense. So I would actually love to do that. Like, if any one of the like car manufacturers are watching, if can they make like a car that could be drivable with like a dual sense controller or something? Anyway, best far out concept, Samsung Display Flex Hybrid. So like an expanding display thing. The Flex Hybrid combines both foldable and slidable form factors, so theoretically you would be able to unfold it from a small tablet size experience and then slide it out further when you need a bigger screen. So yeah, best beauty tech, we already saw this, evolution of a concept, BMW's iVision D. BMW show off an EV concept that could literally change color thanks to an exterior coating powered by e-ink. It can shift from 30 different colors, blah blah blah, whatever. Then Sony's Project Leonardo. I don't see how it's supposed to be like plopped down and used. I'm trying to think, like, okay, you would put it on the table and you would use your hand and push buttons, but then how would you move the joystick and try to press the button? If I don't know, I don't know what it might use. Maybe there might be some implementations of this that might be published later and I will see about it. But anyway, Let me sit up straight. I look like a midget on camera. There, I'm 6'1". Okay, shut up. I mean, that's not tall by any measurable thing. But anyway, most punnable name, Afila. Okay. I don't know. I mean, names are hard. Yeah, we're running out of names. I literally saw a movie today that was called Smile, right? I saw Smile today. This thing. People are really running out of like names. Like, imagine having a name just Smile. Like, yeah, we are running out of names, and that was a bad example, but anyway, whatever. Best health tech, yeah, this is the urine scan thing that you put in your toilet bowl, and it'll collect urine samples and give you some kind of data, like how much water is there, any kind of diseases, any kind of levels, like ovulation, body pH, hydration, vitamin C, and ketone levels, and all of that other stuff. What the hell? Hello? My laptop turned off. I think I didn't charge it. Well, that's a derailment. Come on, turn on again. I don't have time for this. Oh, it didn't turn off. I think it went to sleep. Also, I haven't checked my my thing in a long time. Okay, it's working fine. Okay, so anyway, honorable mention Valencel, best magnetic automatic, best wait, I didn't switch back. Anyway, best magnetically augmented wireless charging standard that's not MagSafe, which is QI2. I don't know what that is. I will read about it like tomorrow. But like later. And I think that's it. So that's done with CES 2023. In short, I do agree with some of them, but some of them I like. I mean, I don't wholeheartedly disagree with any of the opinions that these authors may have, but if you disagree or if you have any opinions, you can leave them down in the description. Alright, so moving on. So that is done. What else do we have? We have an hour to talk about the Galaxy S23, the PS5 stock shortage, the Android Auto, the 7900 XTX issues, the Logan Paul thing, and the Andrew Tate thing. Oh, okay, we are actually running out of time. Okay. Let me go and get another sip of water. Yeah, let me get another sip of water and come, cause I'm really dehydrated. We'll play this one. Wait, this is a good song.
You left your dreams behind, lost in the stars tonight. I'll be your sky. be your Scarlet's pizza. Anything you want, I'll be here. I'll be your Scarlet's pizza.
Did I not mute my mic? Well, shit. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, we have what do we start with now? We'll start with we'll just move down the list, okay? So our new story, our next story is Samsung. Jeez, almost dropped my. So, okay, let's check notifications. No, there's. What the hell? Okay, no, never mind. Okay, so our next story is Samsung has confirmed the launch date of the Galaxy S23 series. That is following I forgot. That was following the leaks and rumors that have surfaced online. The Samsung Unpacked event happened on the is happening on the 1st of February. So, if you guys didn't see the show from yesterday, we did cover the design and how the S23 Ultra looks. We covered that yesterday, and basically it is it's more rounded. It's more of more like less bold looking, you can say. So anyway, why that looks like so short. Okay, there we go. So switch over here. So this by Sam Mobile will be down in the description below. So if you guys haven't seen the leaked photos, oh wait, I'm not playing music. Damn it. That's too loud. Okay, there we go. Yeah, if you guys didn't see, basically it's a lot more rounded and a lot less like cookie cutter kind of look, if that makes any sense. But anyway, okay, so where were we? So yeah, after a series of leaks and rumors surrounding the Galaxy S23 series, Samsung has confirmed the S23 launch date. The company has revealed the information via its own website, and it's pretty much guaranteed that the South Korean firm will launch the Galaxy S23 at its Galaxy Unpacked 2023 Part 1 event. So the leaks were basically, that's not the leaks. Actually, no, I've already spoken about it. I think it's more than enough. So yeah, according to Samsung's website for the Colombian market, the next Galaxy Unpacked event is happening on February 1st, 2023. The tagline for the event reads, "Epic moments are coming." The promotional image also reveals the 3 rear cameras of the Galaxy S23 series, featuring individual rings around them, similar to what we have seen in the leaked renders, and I think pretty similar to the S22 series as well. As per the previous reports, the Galaxy S23 series could go on sale by the second week of February. Samsung may not increase the pricing of its new phones compared to the Galaxy S22 series, which was, I think, how much was the S20? I think it was 1500, right? So S22 Ultra launch price. Yeah, so around $1,200 US, right? How much was it in USD? Yeah, 1200. I was correct. So, however, nothing can. Oh, I thought it was the phone brand. Haha, funny. But anyway, however, nothing can be confirmed until the Samsung makes it official. As usual, Samsung's Galaxy Unpacked event will be live streamed on Samsung.com, Samsung's newsroom, and Samsung's YouTube channel. So this is Ice Universe, famous leaker and related to smartphones and other technology. He has around 500,000 followers on Twitter, and obviously he covered this first. So here is the promotional thing. Yeah, we have the individual camera rings around them, and it is confirmed that we will have 3 cameras. Most likely the main camera, which will be around 200 megapixels, I think. Then the ultra wide, and maybe the telephoto camera. The S22 Ultra might have the S23 Ultra, like the last 3 times the S20, the S21, and the S22 Ultra have had, will have 2 telephoto cameras. We will have one for 3x and one for 10x, though it might go up or it might go down. So anyway, what to expect? The Galaxy S23 series is expected to feature the faster version of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, 8 or 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM, and UFS 4.0 storage, which is going to be faster. And all the devices in the lineup, the S23, S23 Plus, and the S23 Ultra, will run Android 13 out of the box, and will most likely get a minimum of 3 to 4 years of continuous software updates. So it's likely that these phones will see Android 14, Android 15, and even Android 16. And Samsung is genuinely putting an effort into keeping their phones, in providing their phones with support for a long time. So the S23 Ultra is rumored to feature a 200 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization, a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto camera, and a 10x telephoto camera as well. The S23 and the S23 Plus could have a 50 megapixel primary camera with OIS, which is good because you're not cutting down too many features, you're just decreasing resolution. A 12 megapixel ultra wide camera with autofocus, and a 10x telephoto camera with 3 times. Wait, what? And a 10x telephoto camera with 3x optical zoom, and a telephoto camera with 10 megapixel camera. It's alright, I make worse mistakes. All 3 phones are rumored to come with a 12 megapixel selfie camera, which is lower than the 40 megapixels that we have now with OIS and autofocus, which I don't think is pretty common to have a front-facing OIS camera, but it does make sense if you're vlogging yourself while running. So yeah, the S23 is supposed to be powered by a 3900 milliamp hour battery, while the Galaxy S23 Plus has a 4700 milliamp hour battery, and the S23 Ultra has a 5000 milliamp hour battery, just like the S20 since the S20. So yeah, and it supports 45 watts of fast charging. The phones provide fast wireless charging and reverse wireless charging, where the iPhones are able to charge the AirPods by placing them on the back. Samsung also has this feature like this. I think it started on the Samsung first, and this last year's iPhones added them. So yeah, other features of the phone including 5G, GPS, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.3, NFC, a USB Type-C port, stereo speakers, and an IP68 rate. Did they not mention the S Pen? You better have the S Pen, okay? I think I will buy the S24 next year when it comes out, because I used to daily drive a Note 20 Ultra. I mean, I bought it well after launch. I bought it like November 2021, and it launched in like August 2020. yeah, I bought it very late and I'm still using it. So yeah, yeah, there's that. So what else is there? So yeah, that's it. In short, expect to see the event on February 1st. It's in about a month, in about a month's time. Not in about 28 days, you could say. So yeah, there's that. That story is done, and yeah, we covered it in like 5 minutes. We're probably good on time. All right, our next thing, which we couldn't cover last time. No, did we cover last time? Which one did we not cover? Okay, Sony claims that the PlayStation 5 stock shortage is basically over just because they sold the most PlayStation 5s they've ever sold in December. So I should have had the thing open while I was talking, but anyway. So yeah, Sony declares PlayStation 5 stock shortage is over as it sells the most PlayStation 5 consoles ever. December was the biggest sales month for the PlayStation 5 as Sony gradually resolved the component supply chain issues that have been plaguing it since launch. According to Sony's is Jim Ryan, from now on, everyone who wants a PS5 should have a much easier time finding one at retailers globally. So let's put that to the test. Here in, let's see, can we buy? But I don't think you can buy it in directly. Am I stupid? No, obviously you can't. How do you skip? Can you not like go? Oh, you have to like do all of that, all of this garbage. Okay, obviously, let's go to shopping. Let's see. So let me just see if somehow manages to leak something. I don't want to leak anything. It might actually show like my location or something. I don't want to do that. Okay, so 20,000, which is I think $250, which I find very, very funny and very, very legit. Look at this thing. Wait, does it show my thing anywhere? I really hope it doesn't. Like, I somehow managed to leak my location. But a PlayStation 5 for 20,000, which, if you guys don't know how much 20,000 is, it is $250 for a PlayStation 5. I though it's a digital edition and they don't mention it, but anyway, let's go back to that. I don't want to accidentally leak anything. Let's go back. 36, 46. No, this 36 is for the non-digital edition. Then we had the digital edition for 46, non-digital for 54, digital for 56, digital for 28, non-digital for 37, digital for 32, 55 for non-digital, 66 for non-digital, 49 for digital, 39 for non-digital. It's all over the place. I mean, it's not that bad all over the place, but at least there's something. But none of these are like reputable brands. Like, none of these brands I even recognize. So if we go sort by review score, which is probably a bad idea now that I think about it. There's a God of War Ragnarok selling for 33. Oh, is it the video game bundle, or does it actually include the PlayStation? No, it's just a bundle. Okay, so it might be in stock, but let's see, on Amazon, nope, not there in stock. Amazing. What about on Chroma? Come on, it should be there on Chroma, right? For 44. But honestly, I would rather trust Chroma than trust somebody else. Like, sure, this is one of the more expensive ones, but oh, and it's a digital edition. But I would rather trust Chroma than trust anything else. I'll tell you something. I've bought like stuff from Chroma before, and it's all right. Anyway, so okay, anyway, let's where were we? The times where buyers had to be waitlisted for a PlayStation 5 and had to resort to scalpers, which is not something that ever should be happen. If there is something that if there is a if there is something in this world that is so like criminally offensive that it requires a death sentence, I think scalpers should be the first. God damn, the amount of violence I wish to be okay, I shouldn't give threats like that. I hate scalpers a lot. Okay, I had to buy a 1070 from a scalper. I mean, most 1070s that I saw were selling for 20 to 23, which was around $200 to $300, which is not a 1070 is not worth $300. I'm telling you right now. So anyway, the wait time should be almost non-existent now at the PlayStation 5 supply chains have improved dramatically, and all retailers which carry the console will be able to have stock on much wider inventory levels than before. In December, due to Christmas and New Year's probably, Sony sold its largest number of PlayStation 5 units ever, and its overall sales since its launch are now 30 million. That's the same number of sales the PlayStation 4 racked up for a comparable time frame after its release in 2013, despite all the PS5 component level supply changes. This is a quote by, I think, PlayStation themselves. PS5 supply improved towards the end of the year. Oh yeah, this was by Ryan. He added that everyone who wants a PS5 should have a much easier time finding one at retailers globally starting from this point forward. It remains to be seen how his promise will hold up in reality, as despite the record PlayStation 5 December sales, when various retailers used it as doorbuster bait with whatever limited amount of consoles they had, the inventory trackers still showed limited current availability. Amazon is still waitlisting the PlayStation 5 with its invitation request systems, while all of the big retail chains' PS5s are still currently listed in stock only at Walmart at this moment. Actually, let's see this. I really hope it doesn't like show my address or something. Yeah, 550 US. That's around 60, I think, 60K. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, there's that. Honestly, I'm glad to see that this stuff isn't back in stock after. Holy shit! When did I think it was December of 2020 that it launched, right? When did PS5 launch? Yeah, November 12th of 2020. How long has it been since November 2020? 787 days. Holy shit, bro. Okay, alright. Well, that's a story. Article is by Notebook Check. It'll be in the description down below, along with all of the other stories that I have covered. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4 more topics to go. And we have 2 of the biggest topics for last. I mean, okay. Next up, the update to Android Auto. So, if you guys don't know what Android Auto is, it's basically like Apple CarPlay, where you connect your phone to the to the infotainment system that is built into your car, and you can control stuff like Google Maps or your media controls or other kind of stuff like reading the news, checking up on like messages and replying to calls or emails or whatever through your car's dashboard, so that you don't have to use your phone, and you can easily access controls while driving or while like stopped somewhere and you don't want to use your phone or anything. So basically a technology like that, it's been out for a few years in some cars, not mine though, but whatever. So yeah, this new technology, not this thing got an update that I wanted to cover. So, Android Auto gets updated. Look, did it update? Yeah. New shortcuts and seekable media bar. So this includes an updated look, new shortcuts, a media bar with the ability to seek tracks, along with improved access to navigation, media, and communication services. That's the thing that I made. This song is shit. So, Google has arrived at CES to relaunch a to relaunch a to launch a refreshed Android Auto, as well as announce several other automotive related developments. Starting with Android Auto, users will find new features and an updated design that is supposed to make things easier and more personal. As part of this effort, the company focused on improving access to navigation, media, and communication. While the changes might not immediately jump out to you, Google says they moved the map closer to the driver to enables them to see where they're going with a quick glance. Well, I thought that's why there's a big windshield in front of the car, but anyway, whatever. The refresh also includes a new media card, as well as a quick launcher that provides access to recently used apps. And we'll watch this. This is also... Whoa, that's loud. Also, this is a shit song. Why are there, like, constantly shit songs that are coming? Okay. So this is apparently the sidebar that they've added with the quick access apps, Google Assistants, your app drawer, and like your phone stats and the time. And you can apparently do a bit of multitasking as well. So yeah, you've got like a basic Google Maps tools, and Google Maps is in landscape. I mean, it's obviously always been in landscape. I don't really like using Google Maps in landscape. Like, I don't know, like I've seen some like bike riders who like have their phone horizontal for some reason. I like it vertical, but it's just my preference. You've got, search around route. I don't know what that is. These are like directions, and this is like map settings and stuff. Yep, you've got your quick access to your notifications, and you've got Google Assistant built in. And you've got quick replies built into the Google Assistant. Yep, and it'll change depending on what car you have. Maybe like if it has a bigger screen or a taller or different aspect ratios, because there are so many different standards for displays in cars, and there's not really anything uniform. Sometimes they're taller, sometimes they're bigger, sometimes they're longer. Who knows? But anyway, Google also responded to requests by adding a seekable progress bar for music and podcasts so that users can easily skip ahead. So, other highlights include new shortcuts for calling favorite contacts and sending message replies, as well as smart suggestions from Google Assistant that include missed call reminders, quick arrival time sharing, and instant access to music or podcasts. Google also announced Pixel and Samsung owners will soon be able to make calls using WhatsApp. Besides the Android Auto updates, Google announced digital key sharing is coming to Samsung phone in the future. The companies also said Xiaomi owners will be able to use and share digital car keys later this year. Oh, like car keys. Okay, I'm thinking like, what keys? Did I read about this? I do read these stories before I cover them. Okay, beside the Android Auto updates, oh, we just read that. Cars with Google built-in are getting a handful of updates. A new HD map can be found in the Polestar 3. The Polestar is like a UK car, and Volvo EX90. Sorry, Polestar is a British or Western European brand. It's not really an Indian brand, so I don't know what it looks like. Also, I don't know what this the Volvo EX90 is. I'm not much of a car person, especially in like consumer grade cars. I'm like much into like the futuristic ones. It provides precise road details like lane markers, signs, and road barriers to support automakers, assisted in autonomous driving technology for safer, more hands-free driving on select roadways. While Google built-in can already be found in models from General Motors, Renault, Polestar, and Volvo, the company said we can expect for even more brands in the future. In particular, Ford and Lincoln are jumping on the bandwagon this year. So yeah, there's that. It does look pretty cool. I mean, this depends on the car. Shut up. Put your phone on D&D before you go live. Handy little tip. Alright, there's that. Now, on to our last technology story of this of today, which is the whole AMD overheating issue that was found in the 7900 XTX. Yeah, I didn't have the article pulled up. What is it? The 7900 XTX one. Do I seriously not have it? Yeah, there we go. I pulled it up. Wait, I didn't have this in the thing. I'm gonna save it right now into the Google Doc. Okay, this is the last tech story, and then we'll move on to the two big stories, which are kind of like important-ish, but I mean not important, but they're definitely like they'll add a lot of clicks to my channel to this video. I mean to this live stream. But anyway, AMD has confirmed that is indeed. How much do I have to zoom in? Where was I? It is indeed faulty vapor chambers causing the hotspot overheating issues with its new $1,000 worthy Radeon RX 7900 XTX boards. They spoke to PC World's Garden Ma Ong, also PC Ame. I think it's like a dark mode thing, right? Whoa, no, I think I just blinded half of my audience. AMD's Scott Herkelman explained that the problem exclusively impacts 7900 XTX boards. So it doesn't matter if it's an AIB, which is add-in board partners like EVGA makes a different type of 7900 XTX, or ASUS or MSI or Gigabyte or any of those companies. Like they make third-party cards. Those are called AIBs, like add-in board partners, which the board and the core of it is designed by AMD, but these other companies might load their own BIOS, their own type of cooling, and their own type of ports on it. So yeah, all of these made by cards were sold on both on AMD.com and by their board partners. Herkman says AMD responded as soon as it first heard of some cards reportedly running at higher than exceeded temps. We immediately sprung into action. The first, is this a safety concern? There's not a safety concern. Next, is it a potential performance issue? And we found out that if you hit 110 degrees in certain workloads, you could see a small performance decrease. AMD then said about root causing the issue, a process that Herculean said took 2 weeks, explaining that they wanted to make sure they had identified the correct cause. It all comes down to a small batch of vapor chambers that don't have enough water. It's a very small percentage. So these vapor chambers that run on water, they use water or some kind of like liquid to transfer the heat away to the cooler part of the metal, like usually like a copper heat pipe. It'll move the water, like it'll turn to like the water will heat up and it'll turn to gas, and it'll move to away from the source of the heat, where it'll cool down back into water. It'll condense back into water, and then it'll go back to the source of the heat, and then the whole cycle repeats itself until the whole thing warms up. And then at the other side of the heat pipe, the cold side, is where you would have the fan, so that whenever the heat goes there, it doesn't heat up the heat pipe, and it'll just condense back there, making like not preventing the whole heat pipe from heating up. Hopefully that made a little bit of sense. I need to get better at speaking. So anyway, from here, AMD says it's a top priority is making sure customers get fully functioning replacement cards as soon as possible. You spend a lot of money if you bought this XTX board. We want to fix it for you. Just call our tech support line if you bought it from AMD.com. We have units that have identified as good, and we'll ship it to you right away. So these are, I think this is MSI Afterburner. So Jacob confirmed our review sample suffers from this issue. You can see the high hotspot temp recorded here under GPU temperature 2. So I think it's this one right here. This is the this is the hotspot. Wait. The lower than expected clock speed is shown in the graph. So the clock speed is, yeah, as soon as this thing was maxed out, you can see the clock speed dropped from, I think this was when the benchmark started and whatever this was, and then the clock has reduced and it has been lowered again. So this was F122's benchmark at ultra settings and 4K. Which is great, except as we reported a few days ago, AMD seemingly dragged its feet when customers originally got in contact about hotspot issues. Granted, it must be tricky to filter out all the usual internet squawking from actual real-world issues, but our overall sense is that AMD could have been more responsive earlier. After all, we're talking about people who have spent over $1,000 on a brand new GPU. Yeah, AMD could have responded a bit better, but it is understandable in some sense that, hey, they could have thought that some of this is just bogus in the hopes of getting a free GPU or whatever, which is understandable in my opinion. So yeah, it's not just AMD that have suffered issues with this round of high-end GPUs, of course. NVIDIA's RTX 40 series has its own tale of melting power connector woe, and it's rather undefined trend, and that trend refers to the RTX power meme thing where you have to you gotta plug in external, you could just plug your graphics card in the wall into your wall outlet. I feel like this could actually make a lot of sense in the nearby future, except two of them will no way be enough. You need a proper external power supply. Graphics cards, man, I'm glad I still have a 1070 with like 2 6-pins compared to 3. Alright, anyway, I was thinking of upgrading to a 3070 Ti, but then I'm like, I don't game on PC anyway. I game on consoles. That's why I still have my PlayStation 4, and that's why I even bothered to spend money on a capture card. Let's sit properly. Posture check, everyone. Posture check. Okay. And that's everything for the technology bit of this stream. We had a lot of technology show, stories, mostly due to CES and mostly due to my personal preference of like being so well versed in the tech space that anything I see I will cover. And last but certainly not the least, are two entertainment stories / internet stories. The Logan Paul versus CoffeeZilla fiasco. So I did not realize this because I couldn't care less, but Logan Paul actually deleted his response. Shut up. To his response to CoffeeZilla, it's taken down. Now, I don't believe I have a thing, like the link to this, but I think it's taken down. I don't think it's privated. And what is even more surprising is on his latest video, the comments are turned off, which I don't think that this thing was taken. Like, I don't think that he knew what like how bad his response was, because he really didn't address anything other than the fact that he hired a bunch of criminals, which if you guys haven't seen the original video, I think there is a re-upload of it you can go and watch. So yeah, I didn't show it. Yeah, he did turn the comment sections off, and I don't think there is any like news story about this. So yeah, we're gonna cover this, and if we add in quotes CoffeeZilla, and yeah, 2 days 1 day. Oh, there is by Sportskeeda themselves. Okay, shut up. So yeah, YouTube star and podcast host Logan Paul has taken down his response video to fellow content creator CoffeeZilla's series on CryptoZoo, which by the way has a lot of views. Let me just youtube.com/ Coffee break YT, I think it is. No. What is it again? Is it CoffeeZilla? Where is the CoffeeZilla? Wait, what? Why didn't it show up? It's oh, it is CoffeeZilla. God damn it. So his 3-part series has 7, 11, 17. It has around 17.7 million views, which is a lot of views for for an investigation into such a huge popular figure. And CoffeeZilla did tweet out that he's going to drop this response. Yeah, the response drops today, and apparently Logan did call him, and he's deleting the response, and he's dropping the lawsuit threats. I believe he's making a 3rd response, which I'll be delaying my video to include. Hopefully this time he takes accountability and refunds the victims of CryptoZoo. That's what matters. Hey all, then this is Logan Paul was taken seriously. Hey all, just wanted to update you. I deleted my initial response to Coffee series. It was rash and misaligned with the true issue at hand, so I called him today and apologized. The war is not with Coffee. In fact, I'm grateful he brought this to light. I will be taking accountability, apologizing, and coming forward with a plan in the near future. Thank you all for believing in this project and sticking with me. I know it's been bumpy, but your support is with me. Is everything to me, and I will make this right. Now, I don't know how. Like, I'm not gonna say anything, because if the response to this is even worse, then I don't know what. I don't want to be held accountable for, like, oh, I thought I had hope in this guy, but okay, whatever. Yeah, I think that's the only thing today. Yeah, if what the hell? Damn, 148,000 likes. Yeah, I think CoffeeZilla has a case here. You have to sue this, bro. Okay. So after initially accusing CoffeeZilla of spreading misinformation and threatening him to court, Logan has now walked back those claims. He made a post on CryptoZoo's Discord server and updating fans on the situation by saying that. Then Coffee tweeted about it, and then the popular YouTuber has received severe backlash from fans and critiques alike, as information suggesting his NFT project CryptoZoo was a scam came to light. CoffeeZilla, a YouTuber who investigates scams on this channel, made a 3-part series on Logan's CryptoZoo in December, arriving on the same conclusion. Is that okay? No. Logan had put a pair of videos in response to CoffeeZilla's series, accusing the latter of illegally recording a conversation with his manager and threatening legal action against the YouTube investigator. Since uploading the response video, Logan has received even more backlash over his handling. He has since deleted the videos and repeatedly called CoffeeZilla to apologize. Okay, that's a... Oh no, it's reportedly. Why did I read repeatedly? So Coffee, who was seemingly ready to release a video responding to Logan's accusations and threats of legal action, tweeted an update confirming that that Logan had indeed apologized and dropped his previous lawsuit threats. He also said that he will be delaying the release of his own video as he awaits Logan's 3rd response. So soon after that, Logan made a post on the official CryptoZoo Discord server. Yeah, we already did that. And through the professional wrestling star has said he'll be taking accountability and is working on a plan to address the situation moving forward. It remains unclear if Logan's strategy will involve refunding fans. I think... Actually, no, I shouldn't speculate. This could still go wrong. But I think it is still in the best of interest for Logan to redeem himself and refund this. Because in reality, he has improved. Like, compared to 2017 Logan to 2022 Logan, there is like a little bit, there is improvement, like undeniable improvement. So there might be still ways for him to improve himself, like get back all of the get back some respect for himself. That's what I had to say. So yeah, Jaden made a video on this. Now,
Logan,
a lot of people really don't like Jaden, and I couldn't care less about this character, but whatever.
Paul is actually pathetic. Now,
I haven't watched this.
as you guys know, recently, Logan Paul has been under a lot of fire due to the videos that CoffeeZilla has made on his NFT collection, CryptoZoo. And a couple days ago, Logan Paul would release a response to CoffeeZilla where he honestly didn't even address most of CoffeeZilla's points. Like, he kind of brought up a couple, like, valid points and poked a couple holes in some of CoffeeZilla's claims, slightly, but really,
This thing what he covered is the fact that he hired a bunch of criminals and other stuff that was related to the blockchain.
really all the guy did was prove that he hired a bunch of criminals, and he didn't even like address the actual bad stuff that he had been caught doing. He never addressed the multiple
Yeah, the main point of the response was how CoffeeZilla was using him for clickbait and using views, like, and trying to paint him as a scammer when he was really not. Which I wouldn't go as far as to say Logan's intention was scamming. I would never say that, but he's not helping himself.
other NFT scams that he had allegedly been involved with. But the little dink doink is right there, little dink doink
What dink doink? Oh, there. Okay.
logo. That's one of your first scams that you ran. What happened with that, Logan?
Yeah, I actually didn't cover the ding dong scam. I can't cover every single crypto scam. I can only cover like 6 before it becomes like not funny anymore.
And let's just say that this is probably one of the worst.
Yeah, we couldn't see the, I mean, obviously we can't see the likes now, but this video got demolished in all the extensions that reported how many dislikes that this video has got. It got thrashed, well, usually becoming even less than so it's a ratio, right? So what would the ratio be? Like 79 plus 45, so 124. So 79 by 124 into 100, that's a 6%. No, wait, no, into 10, that's a 63 minus 100, that's a 36% like to dislike ratio. Damn.
Perceived responses in YouTube history, but Logan obviously
What did he
didn't
just
see
wait, hold up. What did he just call him?
in YouTube history, but Logan
Seriously?
but
Did he just say Logan?
Logan is in YouTube history, but Logan
Okay, whatever.
obviously didn't
I mean, this guy was the same guy who's called L Speed, I Such Speed, but whatever.
see this coming somehow. Like, he thought he was gonna get out of this scot-free, and he made another response on his podcast, and also
Is this did the podcast also go? I mean, we know that he like. Where is Impulsive?
Mike Tyson.
Shut up. Yeah, I think he deleted it, right? Well, damn it! I closed the thing. Is it this one?
so conveniently
No, it's still on the thing. Anyway.
apologizes to his friend George on the same podcast, and he just plays defensive this entire podcast. Like, you can tell he was expecting this to go over extremely well for him, but of course it didn't.
Yeah, I do think he was expecting like him to like walk away scot-free from this by just threatening legal action, which is honestly a pretty dumb thing to do because it doesn't qualify on anything for defamation. We did talk about this yesterday, but the grounds that Logan is suing him, which is based on defamation, doesn't make any much sense here. Like, it's not Coffee who destroyed his brand. It's him. If he did something wrong, and somebody else has the right to call him out. I'm not a legal lawyer, and this is not legal advice. I'm just saying in terms of morality, which is what defamation is based on. Logan Paul has a very low chance of actually winning this, unless he has like a really good top of the line lawyers who can prove. Because yes, you can claim defamation if you have some kind of economic loss, but with numbers like if you just showed the like to dislike ratio in an actual legalized form, like Logan has basically zero grounds for actually winning the case. So that's why he realized that, his management team realized that, and told him to take the video down and apologize and retract the lawsuit, because that's the logical thing to do, rather than waste money and generate a lot of negative attention towards yourself.
YouTuber named CoffeeZilla released a 3-part series. He spent a year making it, and I'll be honest, it was very good.
Yeah, that I actually completely agree with. CoffeeZilla's videos are entertaining. That's why they gain a lot of traction, just because of how well edited they are in his $10 million studio, how he covers the scams, like in some kind of like FBI hunt, like investigation video, like with actual proof and claim, and all of those claims being publicly like available, like calls, articles he has cited, blockchain information that is from blockchain, from crypto wallets, and from interviews from other people. So yeah, where was that?
He is entertaining, and he's a very good storyteller. I mean, essentially, if you're making content on YouTube, I assume it's to get views and to get people watching your stuff. I get what he's doing. If you put my name in the title and you label it Logan Paul scam, you're gonna get more views. The problem with it is that is not true.
And
it's not that it's not true, it's just always going to be clickbait. Even I am clickbaiting Logan's name into this. I'm gonna certainly, it's gonna be a tag, but it's not that CoffeeZilla is doing it that it's wrong. It's that everybody else is doing it, so it cannot be something wrong or something you can take offense to, which Logan Paul doesn't. Tons of people have clickbaited him for the view, especially for the I'm not gonna mention I will not mention the Japanese forest incident. Not okay. That incident, you know which incident I'm talking about. I'm gonna cut this from the clip. Don't worry. YouTube Studio W. Okay. Anyway,
this would actually start to interfere with Logan's other business dealings. He and KSI.
Yeah, this video probably got mass disliked because of how, it got targeted. People are going to Logan Paul. They're gonna click this video. And it's gonna get disliked, and he saw all the comments and he turned off the comments, so it's obviously gonna affect his business with KSI, which is his prime energy drink. So yeah, bad.
Recently released like a new promotion.
67 versus 121. That might be actually worse. Let's see, 67 plus 121 on 120, so that's 138. 67 no wait, how much was it? 67 plus 120. Shit. Fuck. 67 plus 121 equals 188. So now 67 divided by 188 into 100. Yeah, 35.6%.
For their prime energy drink.
This is a like to dislike ratio, by the way. It's in percentage.
This promotion video got like absolutely destroyed, and it's so bad that Logan had to completely disable the comments. Now, believe it or not, it actually gets worse from here, as Logan would remove his response video. Like, I mean,
it doesn't necessarily get better or worse from here. I would in any way accept any kind of apology, even though it might not be real. Like, it's sure it can still be fake, and just like a PR thing to do is to just apologize and just try and move on. But I do see the kind of like, okay, he apologized for it. I mean, surely he'll not be forgiven by everyone, but certainly did earn some kind of respect from me, because at least he recognized that people are calling him out for this. I don't know, it's just a case of generosity for me. I mean, it doesn't really matter, because who am I to say? It's obviously the people who have lost money and the people who are calling him out, and especially to CoffeeZilla for threatening, for him being threatened by Logan Paul for just calling him out on this bullshit. So
This guy was so cocky. He thought that this was gonna go over well.
yeah, that's one more thing. He genuinely thought that he could get away if he genuinely thought he could actually win this and the internet would be on his side. But no, nobody was on his side. People, all he did was just talk about how CoffeeZilla is a cloud chaser, which you can argue that okay, fine, yes, but that was not the main point. The main point was, why was that series made? The main point is, why was the series about you? And there is some truth to that. There is evidence to that, which you did not combat. You just call him a cloud chaser and you just threaten legal action, and all you did was claim that you hired a bunch of criminals. That's it. So in reality, there is no way you would have won either in court or in the court of law or in the court of public opinion. Just no way.
And it did not even a little bit. I mean, this guy was so bold as to threaten legal action against CoffeeZilla. What happened, Logan? Where's your fire now? I mean, CoffeeZilla hasn't even released his response yet.
I think the main reason why this entire retraction happened is just because of his management team telling him, hey, this is actually doing damage to you, and you better remove that, or we're gonna face a ton of backlash. We're already under a lot of public scrutiny, and this is just gonna make it worse, because everyone is finding out that the way you're silencing your critiques are by threatening them with the law. By threatening them with the lawsuit, not with the law. What the hell? Anyway.
Like, Logan Paul just got absolutely demolished here. By the way, I just wanted to share this with you.
Oh, we didn't cover this. Shit. Oh, God. How did I forget? Yeah. An indie dev managed to build a clone of the Crypto Zoo in a matter of hours. How did I not cover this? God damn it. Okay, we still haven't covered it's 1:45 and we still haven't covered the Andrew Tate. You know what? We're not gonna cover the Andrew Tate cover. We have 20 minutes. Alright, shut up. No one cares. Go kill yourself. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, don't. Alright, an indie dev says that he builds Logan Paul's Crypto Zoo game in a few hours. It's free to play and it actually works, but it doesn't have any crypto elements. So if you want to play a game that mimics Logan Paul's vision for Crypto Zoo, now you can. And an indie game developer by the name of Yippee has released a game called Real Zoo. Let's check it out. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah. We have to log in. Let me not leak anything. Let's see. Well, what am I getting myself into? Okay, we clicked the one egg. Now what? Oh, we have to. Oh, okay. So we clicked the one egg. We clicked the penguin. Can we not move them? We can. We get the panda. So how do you play this? Okay. So we want to take the rare guy, breed him with this guy. We want to breed and do that, and we got a pandertle. Damn. All right. 10 out of 10. Okay, whatever. In a video, Yippee said he managed to develop the game and release CryptoZoo in just a few hours. RealZoo allows users to log in using a Gmail account and are immediately granted tokens for free to spend on eggs, which hatch into random animals. Those animals can be bred into hybrid animals or burned to make more tokens. But those tokens aren't on any blockchain and can't be cashed on any value. In RealZoo, the users passively earn tokens the longer they hold on to their animals, but more impatient players can just buy tokens using a credit card, nice, if they want to hatch eggs more faster. And yeah, blah 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 blah. As for how much a Web3 game costs to make, that can vary widely. Any AAA shooter could easily cost millions upon millions, while a 2D card game could be made for much less. I think if he spent like, what, $5 an hour and made like $25 off this. Anyway, whatever, good enough. And I think, oh yeah, we still haven't watched this.
But apparently someone ended up recreating Logan's CryptoZoo game in 3 hours.
That's a short giraffe. What the hell? I've seen midgets that are taller than that. L in the chat.
And it's free, all right? You don't gotta shell out $500,000 for this. And it looks like CoffeeZilla is gonna be dropping his response later today. And I'm interested to see how Logan responds to this entire thing going forward. I mean, he already tried the offensive route. I guess maybe now he's gonna go the defensive route. I hope at the very least he just apologizes to the victims.
Same, I just hope he apologizes and finds some sort of way to give back to the community who just lost millions of dollars collectively.
And pays them back for the money that they invested into his project. And after this, he's gonna have a hard time rebuilding his reputation. Like I have always said, the worst possible thing that you as a YouTuber or an influencer can possibly do is screw over your fans. And that's exactly
true. The worst possible thing you can do is break the trust that you have formed with the viewers that could choose to watch you over any other creator who doesn't pull this kind of bullshit. If you have a viewer base that is willing to invest in something that you create or you back up or you endorse, then the worst thing that you can do and the thing that you have done is broken their trust. They are now they know that what you have done is just taking their money away with no hope of returning it back, and it's all due to your fault. You have shown the public that you cannot be trusted, and losing your viewers' trust, because if they're not going to trust you, they might not want to watch you. And if they have that feeling that, hey, this guy that I watched for years, I invested into his program and I lost money because it turns out to be a scam, why would that person ever want to support you again? Why would that person ever want to, watch any of your videos again? You just lost trust. You just broke trust, and maybe that person might cut you off from their life just because you took their trust and you mishandled it. So it is so important for you. You may mean nothing to them. I mean, sorry, the influencer. I'm talking to the influencer. They mean nothing for you. They're just people that watch, but they are people who choose to watch you, who choose to invest in your projects. And the fact that you're just abusing that is not like, it doesn't, okay, anyway, but I'm not getting away with this, but just don't lose the trust of your audience. That is the most valuable thing you can have as a social media and influencer. Trust, value, respect of your brand. Don't waste it in hopes of getting a quick buck on some new trend that has just caught up in the last couple of years. Alright, anyway,
what Logan Paul did here. He wanted to make a quick buck. It was pretty clear from the beginning that was the entire purpose of this stupid NFT game. I mean, NFTs as a whole are just kind of a scam and a massive pyramid scheme.
All right. That's enough hot takes.
This thing didn't go to shit like it did. It still kind of was a scam from the get-go. Anyway, hopefully after this, influencers learn not to shill this.
Oh, they will never learn. I guarantee you, in the next couple of weeks, we might have another scandal that we have to deal with.
Stuff. I mean, you'd think they would have learned after Save the Kids, but I guess not. Anyway,
remember, Save the Kids happened mid 2020. That was 2 years ago, and still to this day we have this kind of bullshit being thrown up at least every month. We had that whole paradox crypto thing with ISO speed. That was, I think, yeah, that was November or December. That was not that long ago. Like, this shit is just so popular, and it's understandable that, okay, yeah, it is a different type of scam, and the only reason it's doing it is because it's internet focused and it's internet centric, whereas scams like this have definitely existed. But the only reason they have had a high chance of being successful scams is because it is towards an audience that can be easily swayed into investing into this. If you try to pull this kind of stunt in Wall Street, you will be shut down instantly. You wouldn't have even made more than $1. Like, actually, no way. But stuff like this is only commonplace because of the internet, and it's only being recognized to and like exposed like this because of people like CoffeeZilla, who are also part of the internet. That's why there's so much traction around crypto scams. That's why you don't hear much investor related scams. I mean, the most we have ever heard about is probably Theranos, or maybe some other company that I'm probably not remembering. That's why this thing is like so popular and still in so much of it's not demand, it's just so much of occurrence is the correct term.
Anyway, these are just my thoughts on this entire.
Okay, I think that's a good place to end this Logan Paul thing. And last and certainly not least, we have the Andrew Tate thing. This was supposed to be the main highlight of today's show, but then I realized, like, midway, like, do I really want to cover this? Do I really want to attract that kind of group? The people who are actually choosing to watch watch my stream just because I'm talking about Andrew Tate? No, I don't want people like those as part of my viewer base. I want on people who are like part of the internet, or like, that's why I'm not gonna clickbait this. Sure, I will put it in the description as part of the tags, but I'm not going to put it in the thumbnail or the title, even though it might get a lot of views, because that's just how the internet works. Anyway, we covered, yeah. So article by The Cut, it'll be in the description down below. The previous article was by Sportskita. It'll also be in the description down below. So, yeah. On December 29th, Roman authorities arrested Andrew Tate, a British-American kickboxer turned far-right social media personality who has spent recent years spewing misogynistic, hateful opinions to legions of followers, many of them being teens. Tate and his brother Tristan Tate were detained in Romania, where they live, in connection to a human trafficking and rape investigation, and will spend the next 30 days in prison while detained basically, while police continue their investigation. The brother Andrew and Tristan were suspected of coercing and kidnapping women to participate in their webcam business, which okay, I'm not going to go into detail with this because I certainly don't want this to get demonetized. Not that it matters anyway, but anyway, a fan once called him the king of toxic masculinity, which is one way to describe a leather jacket wearing guy who between sexist diabetes posts photos of himself smoking cigars while posting next to luxury cars and enormous guns. Between his arrest, a feud with Greta Thunberg. Oh, we covered this last time. It was amazing. It's almost, I think it's one of the most liked tweets now. It was number 5, I think. And where is it? Yeah, the 4th most liked tweet with a whopping 3.9 million likes in the whole world, surrounded by people like Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace, Elon Musk, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and once again, Greta Thunberg in 7th place. And then mostly BTS, BTS, yeah. List of most liked YouTube videos. Let's see that one. Obviously Despacito in top. And yeah, mostly other music stuff. Like, is there anything? No. No, actually no. This is pretty recent, right? When did this drop? I didn't see.
If I give you a
Yeah, 23 million. What is the views on this? 300 million views? What the hell? Wait, is that more than holy shit. Damn, bro.
If I give you $100, would you go to Paris to get me a baguette? No. If I give you $300, would you fly to Paris and bring me back a baguette?
Damn, alright. Well, okay, anything else? Actually, you know what? I don't want to cover this. I love this level of cope. I don't think I've ever seen in my entire life. This was the response to the thing. Lester. It got 278,000. That's nothing in compared to the 3.5 million that this thing got. This is I've never seen this much level of cope. Like yeah, thank you for confirming via your email address that you have a small penis at Greta Thunberg. The world was curious. Also, I do agree you should get a life. Please, I want to see this.
Release some greenhouse gases. I'm obviously a stranger to online controversy. It's not something I often do.
Okay.
But now, the mainstream press is commenting on the fact that I was informing Greta that my very extensive car collection with internal combustion engines, which run on dead dinosaurs, have an enormous emission profile. And she replied by telling me her own email address.
I can't. Where are the pizza boxes? Oh, they are. Here they are. Jerry's Pizza, congratulations. You should. Okay. Alright, I guess that's enough. It's 2 a.m. I better go to sleep. And yeah, that went successful. I have to update the description. I'm not gonna do it tonight. I'm gonna do it tomorrow morning. It's Sunday. Tomorrow I have nothing really planned. I don't know when I'll do like the Twitch live stream, but I will do it someday or the other. But anyway, I think that's it. I think it's a good place to call it there, and let's just hope my audio is working. Yep, my audio is working. That's good. You know, I don't think we have had any issues this stream, which is really good. I forgot what I wanted to say, but I think it was some kind of a success. I do have to do some work from, you know, switching between the different scenes, but I think that's fine. And wow, I am tired, so I'm gonna go and sleep, probably wake up around 9 and do some writing. Alright, thank you all for watching. If you like what you've seen, make sure to give it a like, and if you want to get notified whenever this show goes live, which is usually 11 o'clock p.m. Indian Standard Time to 2 o'clock a.m. Indian Standard Time on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. If you want to be notified, you can hit the subscribe button, click on the notification bell, or on YouTube, or when you click subscribe, it'll show up the click again, and instead of selecting personalized notifications, select all notifications. That'll make sure that you'll be updated whenever the show goes live. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna go and sleep. Good night.